Speaking with Sonny Greenhalgh, who's receiving the Order of Merit from the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. Sonny, what were your thoughts when they gave you a call and told you that the Hall of Fame wanted to recognize your achievements this year?
I have to say the first thing I say to myself is, I know I've given my all, but there's so many people out there that have given their all, and for them to come to me and ask me to be part of the Hall of Fame, I said, I'm in awe. It's just absolutely amazing.
Now, you've spent many, many years with the New York Athletic Club, first as an athlete, working as a coach, and then obviously as their chairman for decades. What kept you so involved in wrestling all those years where you would take a leadership role with such an important club?
I just loved wrestling. I love the fraternity of wrestling. And I say fraternity, I include females. But just the people are great people. The wrestlers are great people. I knew from the day I stepped on a wrestling mat my sophomore year in high school that I want to be part of these people the rest of my life. So it was a matter of joy going day to day. I just loved every minute of it.
Now, the New York Athletic Club has a tradition going back a century or more in all sports, but especially in wrestling. Why is wrestling so important to the club, and why did they support our sport and the AC athletes so much over the years?
I think it's a matter of continued success. And the very beginning, one of the first sports we competed in was wrestling. I think we had at the time, when they formed the AC, I think in 1890, one of three sports, I think wrestling, track, and something, maybe boxing, and they just stayed with wrestling. We had so much success with it over the years. And we obviously we're the center of the eastern part of wrestling when it comes to international freestyle, Greco-Roman, and now woman, right? So the AC, they like to continue the success, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the athletes you've worked with. You're in the Hall of Fame now, walking around, and some of the wrestlers who are also enshrined here have been very close to you through their involvement with the New York Athletic Club and USA Wrestling programs. Are there any athletes that stand out in your mind as part of your journey that you're proud to have been part of their success?
Every one of them I have a particular close story with, but those that are most successful. I mean, Bruce Baumgartner. I mean, that guy was the greatest. Not only the best wrestler, but a great person. And to stay with us all those years, and he's the icon of the New York Athletic Club right now with all his international medals, and just probably the greatest. Bobby Weaver. How about Stan Desik? The first year I was chairman, Stan Desik won the world championship. And you go back. You got Kerry McCoy. You got. Back there. There's so many great ones over the years. I need to write a book basically to talk about it. I was thinking yesterday, over my 31 years, I had over 1,000 wrestlers wrestle for the New York Athletic Club, and great ones, good ones, all of them giving their heart out for the club. So yeah, I had a bunch of really, really good ones, but I also had a bunch of hard-working, good guys that wanted to take it to the next step, and that's what we were there. We helped them to take it to the next step.
But your interest was not just with the New York Athletic Club. You've taken a lot of leadership roles with USA Wrestling, trying to help our nation be the best. Any thoughts about, the pride that you felt when we've had athletes win world and Olympic medals for our country?
Oh my God, that's the big thing. I mean, well, let's start. You're right. New York Athletic Club was important to me. New York City was important to me. USA is important to me. I mean, our system is important to me. When wrestling come out of our country's system and become the best in the world, that just makes me feel so good to be part of that. And I live day to day saying let's work to make it the best possible, and that's what we try to do.
Now, you're no longer the chair of wrestling at the AC, but you're still very involved, not only with the club, but wrestling. You're on many USA Wrestling committees. Is there an end to this? I mean, do you ever see yourself not being part of wrestling, or do you plan to continue to keep your finger involved and stay around with your friends and the sport throughout your whole life?
No, I plan on staying as long as I can. As long as my mind is good, as long as my body is good, I'm going to be part of wrestling. I'm actually toying with the idea of taking a role maybe in a high school program next year and be an assistant coach or something. I just love wrestling so much.
Well, you've coached. You've coached at the college level. You've coached at the high school level and the international level. I mean, would you do that in New Jersey, maybe, right around your community?
Yes, I would. I've already talked to a few coaches now. Just to watch that kid take the next step. I mean, I love it. That's what it's all about.
And if there was anything that you would say about the sport of wrestling and what it means to you, how would you describe that?
Well, I mean, to me, it's my life. I mean, it's the greatest sport in the world. It's the greatest fraternity of people. It requires, you know, it's funny. It comes to me. It's not like it goes something like this: you wrestled, you became my best friend, just like that, because I know what you went through to wrestle, and it's just what wrestling gave you made you a greater human being, and I want to be part of all that.
Well, thank you very much, Sonny, and congratulations on the Order of Merit here at the Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Gar.